Hello. A very warm welcome to Talking Couch, a flagship podcast channel of the Psycholingo. I'm your host, psychologist Anam Ahmed, live from Hamburg, Germany, excited, happy, and filled with gratitude. Today, on 7th April, we mark observance of World Health Day, serving as an opportunity to raise awareness about health-related issues and advocate for improvements in global health. This year's WHO's theme is My Health, My Right, emphasizing a fundamental truth that is access to good health is a basic human right. In our fourth episode as a psychologist with almost a decade spent working and studying about mental health, I would like to bring light on something very important yet misunderstood about certain disease conditions. In this episode, we are observing World Health Day in the light of also understanding psychosomatic disorders and diseases, which are so mysterious, physical diseases that lack symptomatological clarity and yet remain to bother us till rest of our lives. Let's delve deeper into the hows and whys of our minds, trying to find out exactly why some people show no reasons for their physical diseases, stay ill all their lives with the condition, make it hard for doctors even to treat them with a regular course of medicine. Now, what are we waiting for? Let's begin and stay tuned. Have you recently observed a very alarming news headlines coming from India that many young people in the bracket of 13 years to 45 years lost their lives to cardiac arrests? I remember it clearly at a mass Garba event in Gujarat. In a single day, we lost 22 lives to cardiac arrest. Here the point is not to raise a panic alarm, but to discuss a point or two. Where are we going wrong when it comes to our daily lifestyle choices and activities, or maybe our approaches or attitude towards establishing positive health? Here it saddens me deeply to see it in a way that India might be a young country where most of its population is of young people. We are a youth country, but it has old hearts, overworked, stressed hearts and souls. I would call it overwhelmed hearts. The reactions and advice of cardiologists were coming in, and they said that people need to improve their lifestyle, avoid being sedentary always, and consume less processed food, junk food, or street food. There is a growing need to have annual health checkups, if not a detailed examination, but a simple but a detailed CBC profile of your blood and urine culture can give clarity on your overall physical health, which also we fail to do it many times. Noting very crucially here is WHO's definition of health, and how often we misunderstand the concept of health at the very first place. So I would like to bring in the definition once again that it is not simply the absence of a disease. So if you are not feeling ill and you have not had that, occasion to go to a doctor, to be hospitalized or have frequent visits, you consider yourself healthy. WHO denies this definition completely, that it is not only the absence of a diseased state, but it is a complete holistic state of physical, mental, and social well-being. So there are three important parts. Physical well-being, that involves your sleep patterns, your diet, your routine health checkups, the amount of hydration, like you have good water intake, fluid intakes. Then we have mental well-being, which involves stress management, which involves relaxation, overall optimistic outlook towards life. We have social well-being as the third component, which means meaningful, secure, positive, healthy relationships with people around in your life with whom you interact. At least average or above average performance in these three well-being areas will help us lead a good life, even if not the best ones. However, this makes me question, as part of our everyday life, are we even conscious beings to note and observe the details which might be so crucial data on our health overall? Conscious living, a more mindful one, will only help us observe ourselves from inside, because the most focus that or attention that we have is lying outside in this overwhelming world. We often miss these details as to how much are we sleeping, how well are we sleeping, what is sleep hygiene that we are maintaining, are we even eating balanced and a good diet, or are we just restricting ourselves to traditional way of cooking and eating and not incorporating other cuisines and other foods, as part of our plate, and not only keeping yourself to potatoes and other traditional way of cooking and eating? Or are we spending time at all to utilize the carbs and calories that we are consuming each day? How much are we munching junk food to satisfy our sweet buds, our taste buds, in order to have that kick in life that we are missing, maybe? Or how much are we even spending to redecorate the environments we are living in, to make it more positive, to make it more clean, airy, open, maintained, renovated, easy, and minimalist? How much are we paying attention to details? Because the space that you are breathing in is so important and has a direct impact on your mind and helps you grow or degrade. So how much are we even conscious of our environment being a very important factor? How much are we paying attention to that? How much have we spent time with ourselves recently is the overall question. To talk with ourselves. When was the last time we took time off to focus on health? Got some screening tests done to note our physical health. Where does it lie on the continuum? Took a vacation and went outside in nature to celebrate peace and not always overcomplicating things, overdoing things. When was it actually the last time? Let's ask ourselves today. When we live a life on an autopilot mode, just go with the flow type, as a psychologist, I am curious, where are we landing ourselves? Where are we heading towards in life? And why are we at all procrastinating when it comes to taking actions for better health? Why we cannot be more preventive, as prevention is definitely better than cure. Moving ahead with the discussion on World Health Day, as a psychologist, as a mental health professional, I would really like to bring attention to some diseases, as I had said in the beginning, which hit a person with severe symptoms. So you have the symptoms in your body that you feel, but when you go to the doctors and there is no physical examination which is being done on you, which has reports clearly stating that why do you feel these symptoms in your body? To which I think psychosomatics today has answers, which is a holistic approach to the ill person, to the ailment, to the diseases. Psychosomatics involve the study of mind and body as two separate entities and elements, but they are interacting and influencing each other. So we are trying to understand the interaction, the communication of these two elements, that is mind and body. Psycho means mind and mental activities which are underlying, and soma means body. That's how the word psychosomatics. The findings are old actually. To my surprise, I thought that this is a new upcoming discipline where people are trying to study the impact of stress on the body and how psychological, functioning or the mental activities can have a direct impact on our bodies or our physical health. But no, this discipline is actually old and dating back to Greek philosophers like Hippocrates, who is still date so famous for his oath. Every doctor's prescription, if you might have observed, has its symbol, Hippocrates' oath. So that symbol, like a tree-like structure, it is actually called Hippocrates' oath. And every doctor abide by truth and discipline while practicing medicine and has it embedded on its prescription. So this is the impact, so that you can imagine how influential his thoughts and his contributions, his findings are till date. He and his followers later tried describing some diseases which might have or have psychological reasons behind them. them. So they were also perplexed and so curious behind certain diseases which were present in people. But no matter what herbs you give the person, nothing actually works. Because I think the reason lies in the mental activities of the person. For example, let us just take this small case where a man has been suffering from major depression and for which he has not taken help from psychiatrist or a therapist. So this person is suffering from inside. With increasing days, as the days would go by, this person will involve himself with negative self-defeating behavior because it is a part of major depressive disorder. There is a thought element and there is a behavior element. There is an emotional element. So we talk only about things that we see directly, and that is the behavior of the person, which is so self-defeating, so self-killing in nature. For example, not taking care of the body, not being able to maintain good hygiene, not taking proper nutrition, not exercising or moving the body, always involved in negative thinking, which leads to negative decisions and negative behavior, and withdrawal actions like always being secluded, preferring Netflix and chill all the time, cutting off from the social circle, always, having a complaining tone, always this anger coming up, and there is a negativity. There is something which pulls the person down when it comes to touching any color in life. So everything has turned gray for this person, including the soul. There is excessive sugar intake. There is a loss of appetite probably. He's not sleeping well in the night. In spite of a full night's sleep, he's waking up so bogged down, so heavy in his eyes and shoulders. Negativity is all you feel. If you ignore your mind and this mental state that you have inside of you, maybe you are keeping it hidden even from yourself. And for a long time, you are just leading a life, and you are able to balance yourself and maintain yourself to keep a brave face, and you have school and college education, a running marriage or something. I mean, you are able to balance all the spheres of your life, but inside there is a rotten soul. Inside you are not living, and you know it, but it is somewhere hidden. With time, this person shows, and it is 100% true that this person starts showing physical symptoms. Maybe there is a physical disease which is coming up in the body because, of course, you're not doing justice to the body. You're not being able to take care of it. And the soul is already so discouraged from inside, and it will start manifesting the pain in the form of a physical pain. For example, there is a chest pain, a back pain, a headache, excessive fatigue coming in. Could be in the form of a skin allergy, unusual cough and cold not leaving you, or there are allergies coming up. There is a possibility of ulcers, gastric problems. So there is overall suppression of the immune system of the person because of this hormonal loop that has been formed in the body because of the prolonged exposure to a stressed condition. Because you have been a host to stressors and you have not taken the right action, you have not monitored your emotions and mental activities, you have hosted these stress hormones in the body, which has formed a loop. So your mind is actually the bridge which is connecting your brain and the body. Your mind is negative, so it is sending signals to your brain to release some certain neurochemicals in the bloodstreams, and that is acting on your organs in the body. For example, it is adrenaline, it is cortisol. These are the stress hormones which are being released from the organs of the body because there is an indication from the brain. And how does that come? Because we have certain brain structures which are being activated when we think and feel in a certain way. So beliefs, thoughts, emotions, they are interacting with our body and our organ through hormones and neurochemical signals. And how are they being generated from the brain? Because of the mental activities that we are involving ourselves in. Scientists have proved this link between stress hormones and its impact on our organs. This is how we are establishing this communication. To combat stressors, I think we need certain knowledge and skills in life. Often we lack them. We do not know how to overcome a trauma that we have gone through, a negative event or two, maybe it's a discouraging situation, and we keep bundling things up. As a society, we are not open to talking about our inferiorities, something that we might have gone through in the childhood or in the current state. We are not open up with the idea that we might be just judged to be weak, that how to tell somebody that this has been bothering me so much. And at a unconscious level, I think most of our worries lies in the unconscious part, that we are not even have the time or not even the motivation to get ourselves away from the distraction, to actually sit with ourselves and think why this thing is not working for me, or why is it actually. There is no time, there is no introspection mode that we might just get ourselves in to think deeply, you know. And that's why I think one thing we can do is cater these arising needs, which is coming from inside, the stuck feeling which you might be experiencing, with a professional or a doctor or a therapist. I do not say only approaching therapy and addressing mental health concerns will help you keep a good score on health, but often we completely skip the mental part. This is a strong message that I would like to give. We are completely skipping the mental contribution, the mental well-being part that might be contributing to the physical problems presented by the person. Today, I think in hospitals, in every department, especially the cardiovascular diseases, the heart patients are being assisted actively by a psychologist, because even doctors who are so traditional in their approach that, there is only brain and cell and body and organ and no mental influences there. Even doctors are accepting today that there is a mental, emotional, and social angle to there's a possibility that 80% of the diseases have that influence around. So even if you treat the person with a approach from the medicinal background, could be a medicine or a surgery or something, in the medicinal, field or industry, but we still have to keep in mind the mental influences. So we have to suggest the patient to have relaxation techniques, life skill program the person is encouraged to join, have therapy sessions for quite some time to learn a different perspective towards life, go through your inner self and process your trauma, be more open and bold about your inferiorities or your negativities. There might be a different part of you which you are not friendly with, which you are so scared to even let it out in the world. So process everything together, along with medicines, along with good screening of your physical health and examination. We have to today be so educated that we have a holistic approach towards health. So, important takeaway from this episode is actually Carl Jung's words, which I would like to, bring to you, that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So we have to go through this process of making the unconscious conflicts that we have in our minds for us to be more conscious about it, end our autopilot life, move ahead and be a beautiful version of ourselves together and piece it everything together. That's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me, holding your attention till the end. Remember to take care of yourself and each other around. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share this powerful message with your dear ones around. Follow us on our social media for new updates. Check out our website for booking up a therapy session with me, or visit great courses made on psychology. Until next time, this is your psychologist Anam Ahmed signing off for now. Ciao, auf Wiedersehen.